All right, Senator Daines, the shutdown continues to shut down. Mr. Schumer is saying give him an extension of a year on Obamacare. I don't really know what's going on. This thing's so complicated, and I fear the public is, frankly, as baffled about it as I am. From your perspective, is there any chance at all that the shutdown can end? That's the bottom line here. We got airplane problems and traffic controller problems, and people in the military aren't getting paid. By the way, I guess House and Senate members are getting paid. I'm not sure why they should be paid if these others aren't getting paid. But what is going on here? Give me a little Steve Daines capsule.
Well, we want the shutdown to end immediately. It should have ended weeks ago. You look at the Fox charts at the moment, they're showing flights delayed, they're showing flights canceled. This is only going to get worse and worse. Secretary Duffy is having to take extraordinary actions now to protect the flying public. But you saw what Schumer just offered on the floor. It's nonsense. It's a non-starter. Let me just step back for a moment and define the problem. Obamacare premiums have gone up 220% since it was implemented in 2014. Remember, Barack Obama said Obamacare was going to lower health care costs by $2,500. That was the promise. It's up 221%. These now subsidies that were put in place temporarily by the Democrats during COVID are set to expire. They were never meant to be permanent. What Chuck Schumer's asking is to now extend these temporary subsidies that are paid to Americans like we're a family of two that make over $100,000 a year. But where do these subsidies go? They go directly to the insurance companies. So it's doing nothing to address the issue of the unaffordability of Obamacare and health care. Their stock prices, Larry, if you look at the major health care insurance companies over that same period of time, going back to 2014, are up 500% to over 1,000%. So the insurance companies are making out like bandits, while the American people, frankly, are feeling the pain of Obamacare. And remember one final point. When you think about how many Americans are on the exchange, receive Obamacare, it's 7%. So 93% of the American people receive their health care through Medicare, through Medicaid, through private health care. It's 7% that receive it through Obamacare, and it's a much smaller subset of that 7% that actually get this subsidy paid to the insurance company, not even to the consumer. And so the Democrats, bottom line, are shutting down the entire government, disrupting air travel, not paying the troops because of these subsidies that were always meant to expire. That's the fight. So what did Chuck Schumer just do? He says, let's extend them another year. We're not going to do that without significant reforms at best. 20% of these subsidies are fraudulent. This is a terrible $50 billion a year fraudulent subsidy program that we have got to stop or dramatically reform. We're not going to let Chuck Schumer extend it another year. That's what he proposed here about an hour ago, and it's nonsense.
So, all right. How long is this going to go on? Today's November 7th. Thanksgiving is approaching. The price of the turkey is lower than it was last year. That's a good thing for affordability. That was my brief riff this evening. But, you know, people want to know how. I mean, among other things, when it gets Thanksgiving, everybody's going to be flying someplace. And yet a lot of flights are going to be canceled because of the air traffic controller problem. They're not getting paid. They're not showing up for work. Not all of them, but many of them, a large chunk of it. Sean Duffy's scared to death, and rightly so. So what can you tell us? I mean, are we going to go limp to Thanksgiving? Is that what's going to happen?
Well, that can happen, Larry. And, you know, we've given the Democrats now 14, 15 times. They could have voted for what they call a clean CR. And by the way, they voted for a clean CR 11 times when Joe Biden was president. But now that President Trump is in charge, they vote against it. Chuck Schumer voted for it back in March and nearly had his head handed to him, politically speaking. And so he's got to show this fight to save his political career with AOC and so forth in New York. This is political gamesmanship, and sadly, the American people are suffering. We're suffering in many, many ways. It's got to stop. So how do we get out of this mess? We've got to first agree, like we've always done in Washington for for a long time, for many, many years, on a short-term extension of the CR. Now, November 21st is too short a period of time. Punt it out to probably January. And by the way, Larry, we've got serious discussions going on with a handful of Democrats, I'll call them the Common Sense Caucus, that want to end this like we want to end it, that are willing to push against Chuck Schumer's iron fist and do the right thing for this nation. I'm hoping, Larry, that this weekend there'll be time for the temperature to come down, and that by perhaps next week we could get something accomplished here, having a handful of Democrats join us, do the right thing, buy the time needed to do the negotiations for these final spending bills. That's the right answer, Larry. That's what we've always done here in Washington, and they're not agreeing to that because of Chuck Schumer's iron fist.
Senator Daines, what about Mr. Trump's idea that we end the filibuster? So you could get the CR through, you only need 51 votes, and lots of other things as well. He's very hard on this, as you can see. He's not letting up. I'm sure he talked to your conference about it when you were together at breakfast. He's been issuing a lot of Truth Social tweets and discussions about this. What about this idea?
Yeah, I was with the president last night. We had a wonderful dinner with 5 Central Asian country presidents. It was a great dinner, wonderful meal. At the end, the president was continuing to make his very compelling argument on eliminating the filibuster. It's an argument that has merit, because if the Democrats get control of this place, they're going to eliminate it. So we might as well get ahead of them and do this to move forward with some of these important bills. The problem we have, Larry, is there's 10 to 15 Republicans in the Senate that are hard-nosed. They will not agree to this. And so in that case, it's a moot point. So we need to basically set that aside. They're immovable objects on this issue, and pivot and find a way through this.
But if you could do it, I mean, if you could get your conference to you do it, would you do it, Senator Daines? Would you favor it?
If we had 51 Republicans that are willing to do that, I would do that. But the problem is we do not have, we got 10 to 15. They're absolutely hard-nosed. And that's just the political reality we've got to face at the moment. And instead, we've got to figure out another solution. And this is not that hard, Larry. We've just got to ask 5 or 6 more Democrats that have always done this with us over the years to join us here this weekend. By the way, in the next hour or so, Ron Johnson has a bill on the floor that simply says this: let's pay the federal employees, give them their back pay to the 1st of November. Air traffic controllers, anybody else who is going to work every day in the federal government and not getting a paycheck. Ron Johnson's bill simply says, let's just pay them for now and not have them suffer, not be able to make the rent payments, pay for their groceries. I'll tell you what, we're going to test the Democrats to see if they'll at least do that to take care of these civil servants who are serving us every day. I'll bet you that they will vote against this, which just shows you again, frankly, the bad state of mind they're in at the moment and why they're yielding to Schumer's political gamesmanship, doing the right thing instead of the right thing for the American people.
Just last point, Senator Daines, because I've known you a while. Do you think the public, to the extent they know, or anybody else, likes the idea that the elected representatives are getting paid, but the rest of them are not?
Yeah, no, they don't.
I mean, yeah. I've been in government several times myself, and I've always been, I've been in a quote unquote essential position, but I haven't been paid. And of course, a lot of people are going to wind up losing their jobs altogether. I mean, don't you think that's a little sketchy? That's a little antsy. That's just not a good thing. That's not a good look for you guys.
Larry, I'll say it even stronger. It's terrible. Many of us, including myself, have just asked to withhold our paychecks. So I'm in that camp. So I asked them to do that. When I walk by the Capitol Police that protect us here every day, every morning, they got smiles on their face. They're saluting, doing their jobs. They're not getting paid right now. And I think it's important that we stand at least in solidarity and say, even though you're right, legally we do get paid, that's wrong. We should tell them to hold, that's what I've done, to hold my paycheck, just at least in terms of doing the right thing, to stand with those federal employees who aren't getting their paychecks.
That's because you're a mensch from Montana. Good for you, Senator Daines. We appreciate you coming on, sir. Thank you ever so much.